This is Scott Vanderplu, and you're listening to the Artist Edition Index Podcast, episode 97.
I went down to the St. James Infirmary, found my baby there, stretched out on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so fast.
Thank you for joining me once more on this monthly trek through all that appears at aindex.org as we take those written pieces and I add a little flair, a little color to the what's there. Big news this month, might as well jump right in, right? As always, I'm recording this podcast on the 1st of the month, and that first day today, January 1st, and that means the Dunbier Awards are live. The voting is live. Voting ends on January 31st at midnight, and then the winners are announced on February 1st. So pretty exciting. Let's get right into that, because that is the hot topic for this month. 9 books as part of the award voting this year. Let me go through them, and then I can explain why some things didn't appear. So let's do them in order of publication. I will not do them alphabetical. Okay. So John Romita's The Amazing Spider-Man Daily Strips Artist Edition. That was released on January 9th. The 2080 Art of Mick McMahon Apex Edition, released January 24th. Bill Ward, The Fantagraphics Studio Edition, released January 31st. Man, January, a lot of them, 3 of our 9 books in 1 month. Okay. Pretty Deadly, The Shrike Vault Edition, released April 30th. Chris Somney's Black Widow Artist Edition, released July 2nd. David Mazzucchelli's Batman Year One Artist Edition, released August 13th. The 2080 Art of Steve Dillon Apex Edition, released October 30th. Brian Boland, Batman, The Killing Joke, and Other Stories in Art Gallery Edition, released November 6th. Savage Dragon Vault Edition, Volume 1, released November 5th. Why do I have those out of order? I'll have to look at that. All right, so that's our 9. So let me read you the blurb. To qualify, an AE format book must have been published in English, released in the calendar year to the North American market, and generally available for purchase. Reprints without substantial new material, such as Jim Lee DC Legends Artist Edition or Best of DC War Artist Edition 2024, are not eligible. Books only available via pre-purchase are not eligible, which includes crowdfunded. For 2024, this includes Extremity Signature Edition, David Wright's Carol Day Jack Slingsby, and David Wright's Carol Day Riverside Racket. There were others, but it's impossible to be aware of and track all crowdfunded books, and only voting on books that were generally available for sales levels the field. So, I mean, previously I've included crowdfunded books, and I just, this year some things changed, and I thought I've really got to, the awards are evolving. I've got to be more definitive with my criteria and state these things. Because also released in the 2024 calendar year was Zorro Man of the Dead Artist Edition from Massive Entertainment by a crowdfunding campaign, but I didn't get that. And I contacted Massive repeatedly about it, and they never got back to me about anything. I'm sure there were other AE format books that were released this year, but I don't know about them, right? And unless it's available into the general market of North America, which would be local comic shops, Amazon, I understand, I'm still not even limiting to, wide acceptance, because as long as a major distributor is carrying it, so Diamond, Simon & Schuster, Penguin Random House, that's what we're looking for. Something that is appearing in a store, something that, even if you miss the pre-sale of it, is still available for purchase in a store. Yes, these things may sell out quickly, but it's still generally available at a store. Right? I mean, you pay for a crowdfunded book. You could pay a year in advance. I've paid for that Conan book. Oh, don't even get me started on that Conan book. Conan Colossal Edition, which apparently, as long as you are close to the... no, forget it. No, I'm not going there. Angry about the whole thing. So yeah, that's the... and then the David Wright's Carol Day books. I love them. I've got Riverside Racket here. I received it a couple weeks ago. I had some shipping issues with it. It was poorly packaged. But again, I had to pre-order it months ago. They only print to what was ordered, and then it's no longer available. My copy was damaged, but they didn't have they didn't even have a replacement copy for me because they printed to order, and there's no extras. So is that generally available? No, it's not. And that's why I don't feel it should qualify for the to be part of the awards as well. I mean, the book was only available from one site that you had to pre-order. So this is the same with Crowdfunding, right? Same with Kickstarter or Indiegogo or Zoop. This book is only available from one source, one website that must be pre-ordered, and then you will get it when it's printed. Well, that I don't want that to be part of these awards. It's got to be generally available. So that is that. So again, I gave them the 9 books, and I've sorted them alphabetically in the awards. And again, let me go over the awards, the voting categories, so you know what we're talking about. So we have this year, I changed the rotation of them every year because for some reason the first one that appears on the page always gets more votes than any of the rest, which I don't understand, but okay. So we've got 2024 Dunbier Awards. We got, I'll go through each one. Best reproduction. And then I've got a description on the site, so you don't have to guess what that means. You can read it. What AE format book of 2024 has the best presentation of the original art in terms of clarity, scan quality, paper choice, and presenting the art at its best? I'm actually wondering if I should eliminate this category moving forward, because it's sort of, isn't it very close to best overall? Tough call. For now, this year, it's still there. Best design. What AE format book of 2024 had the best overall design, including its use of color, images, and text? I feel like that stands on its own. That's always going to be important. There's always a designer working on these books. Okay, best publisher. This is another one too. I mean, I guess I could really boil it down to one award, right? But then what is that? So it's still better to have some categories, right? It's easy to think of a publisher's collected work, but please only vote on the books published in 2024. This is so important to me because otherwise everybody just goes, oh, IDW. Like, come on, guys. We're only talking about the year of these awards. What publisher or imprint in 2024 best represented the AE format with their commitment to quality, maintaining their publishing schedule, and promoting the material in the AE format? So these are very clear things. Commitment to quality. I understand that maybe that may fit all these publishers. Maintaining their publishing schedule. That slices a little bit differently, doesn't it? And we're not sure, if delays happen, but what is their this is why, Zoop won't even fit. Zoop and Conan won't qualify for these awards until they release the books into retail. But for now, maintaining their publishing schedule, forget it. And then we've got promoting their material in the AE format. Which of these publishers actually promote their work? So that's a tough call again. What do we consider promotion, right? Do we consider appearing in a catalog promotion? Is that promotion? No, that's just requirement, isn't it? You're publishing this book, you put it in the catalog, it's there. Do any publishers actually go above and beyond printing it in the catalog, putting it in their solicitation? I don't know. Got to ask yourself that and vote. Okay, best overall. What AE format book in 2024 was the overall best work in its design, presentation of material, and quality? And then we move on to favorite material. What AE format book of 2024 was your favorite material, story, character, artist? This award I really feel like I'm going to drop going forward. It's interesting because, is that really, if you're buying a book, if you're voting for these categories, are you going to pick something different for best overall versus favorite material? Maybe, but I think most people are going to go for associate favorite material with best. And I think these awards are cutting too close. So absolutely, next year, we're not going to see favorite material anymore. And then we got to look. And then, of course, I've got the next one. Purchases. Please check every format book you purchased in 2024. Unfortunately, these awards went live this morning. I had some problems, apparently. I didn't realize, but thankfully, somebody on the forum reached out to me and said, hey, I can't check any of these purchases boxes. So I was able to fix that. So we had a few voters early today. If you're listening and you weren't able to check those boxes, please go back and check them now because it's available now. At any time, you can go in and you can click view results and you can see how the votes are going. The votes close, again, January 31st, midnight. And then February 1st, we'll see them live. Very exciting. I'm really happy to see a collection of 5 publishers in the year promoting 9 books. It's awesome. I did want to circle back around because I've also said reprints without substantial new material. So IDW is reprinting the the Artifact editions as artist editions. So that's like the Jim Lee DC Legends was published in 2024. That's why that's not included. It's just a straight reprint, other than a title change. Best of DC War. Actually didn't change the title at all. It's even the indices. The colophon doesn't indicate that it's a change. I put that in the review, so I'm calling it 2024 or 2024 expanded. But it's only 12 pages, right? It's of the 160 pages in the book. That's or whatever it was, 140. Was it 148, and then it went to 160? You know what I could do? I could just check the review, I guess. But anyway, I won't do that right now. We're talking about these 12 pages is not substantial. I was should it be 50%? Should it be 25%? It's a tough call, but substantial. It should be, right? A lot of new stuff. That's the. I guess if we split, we can split hairs later. If Batman, Frank Miller, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Gallery Edition is reprinted with the missing 56 pages, we'll have to decide if that's substantial enough to make it to the awards, right? But fingers crossed, we actually see that happen one day. All right, that is that. Please go and vote. I'm going to make a YouTube video in a couple days, maybe on the weekend, to promote the Dunbier Awards and to go over what I just did here on the podcast, but I'll do it in video form. Maybe I can make some mastery of the video and get some of these images going as well while I'm talking. All right, that is the big news this month. Please, let's focus on that. While we're talking that, we had a poll this month from our good friend and Patreon patron, David Jacoy. Always wonderful to see. Let's go into the results there. That is in polls. And the question for this month was, calling all comic book lovers and holiday enthusiasts. We're decking the halls with creativity, and you get to decide which comic deserves the A treatment. Will it be a superhero saving the holidays from a mischievous toy-stealing villain, an angry duck discovering the meaning of family, a big red demon spawn on the side of angels, a cozy magical tale of Santa discovering the true meaning of Christmas, a murderous lunatic hired to kill Santa? Oh. So let's see results here. I gotta load the page because I didn't vote. So if you vote, you get to see the results instantly. But I have to click on something else. Okay, who won? Donald Duck, Christmas on Bear Mountain by Carl Barks. Oh yeah, because these are fantasy choices, and the voting is these will almost never actually turn into a real book. Those Carl Barks pages are gone, people, so that'll never happen. But it's okay. Good vote. Coming in second, Hellboy Winter Specials by Mike Mignola and various artists. So there's been a couple different winter specials. Those would be great to see collected. I'd love to see that. Coming in third was the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special by Simon Bisley. Simon Bisley, somebody who could... Classic Simon Bisley is an A format book I'd like to see. Coming in fourth, Batman Noel by Lee Bermejo. And coming in last was Klaus, How Santa Claus Began by Dan Moore. Dan Moore's art is pretty great. I gotta say, it's clean style, though. We'd have to see. That'd be an interesting A format book. Maybe that's... Of these books, maybe Lee Bermejo and Dan Moore are the actual possibilities. Interesting. Anyway, the voting continues on for that, but that's that. What else we got going on here? Solicitations. 2 solicitations this month. We had the IDW January 2025 catalog, and we had the Diamond January 2025 catalog. They both offered the same AE format books, which I guess it's one book with different covers, and that is Neil Adams Classic DC Artist Edition. That's what it's being solicited as. That's in the IDW catalog, and yet the cover says, I'm still trying to piece this together myself. The cover's got the DC bullet, then it says Neil Adams Classics Artist Edition on the cover. The spine says DC Bullet, Neil Adams Classics Artist Edition. I don't know how somebody in the sales department at IDW is getting Neil Adams Classic DC out of that. The cover has been updated slightly. The DC Bullet was changed from black to blue. I think it's back to the Classic Bullet. So that's nice. So I feel like somebody had their hand on the cover again, but still kept it as DC Neal Adams Classics Artist Edition. So when the book is published and we get a chance to look at the colophon, then we'll know. But I'll give you the blurb because it's finally solicited and it's got a publication date of April 1st. It's 12 by 17 inches, 288 pages. It's a hardcover, 150 US. Good value there for 150, 280 pages. Neal Adams is regarded as one of the most important comic artists of all time. Hugely influential and popular, Adams redefined the way comics were viewed by both fans and creators. This artist edition includes Adams' work from Batman, Brave and the Bold, Detective Comics, Strange Adventures, Aquaman, Green Lantern and Green Arrow, Flash, House of Mystery, Phantom Stranger, Action Comics, Superman, Justice League of America, Weird Western Tales, and more. This artist edition presents Neal Adams' original artwork scanned at high resolution and in color, though the art appears to be in black and white, so the reader can view pages and covers as close to their natural state as possible. Would it be closely as possible? Mimicking the look and even the feel of original art. Amazing. So that hit both catalogs. Nothing else in this month, unfortunately. I've said this before. Neal Adams is not my... He's from a previous generation. He's just... I don't know. I'm never really a big Neal Adams fan. I'm sure this book is going to change my mind, and I'm excited for it. The book I'm very excited about is... it will be reviewed next Saturday, or actually this coming Saturday, so I'm recording this on the 1st. So look for my review to hit the 4th, and that is Paul Smith's X-Men Artist Edition. I got an advance review copy from IDW, so thanks IDW. And I've been going through that. It's been amazing. As always, I wish there was all complete issues and I could read, through, but there is there's a couple complete stories in there, and some close to complete stories. So that's good stuff. And that review's coming up. That's awesome. And then January's got some great stuff. Let's look at solicitations here. Let's look at the publishing schedule to talk about what's coming out. What's changed. All right, we've got Paul Smith's Uncanny X-Men. I apologize, I left out the Uncanny. So that's still scheduled for January 7th, which is next Tuesday. Then we have the Comics 1964 to 2024 book. That's coming out January 8th. I've talked about that previously. It was released. There was a British format released earlier, and a French format. I've got the British one. It's a soft cover, so I'm going to see this American version hardcover and compare it. So we'll see what that's about. Button Man by Arthur Ranson, Apex Edition. That's coming out January 15th. That's another exciting book. That's January. I just thought I'd quickly give a shout out to those things. That's exciting to see new books like that. Shipping changes. Oh, what has happened here? I've got Youngblood Vault Edition. Do I not have a solicitation for Youngblood Vault Edition? Hold the phone. Yes. Why do I not have this popped up here? Weird. Oh, because I did it in November. Okay. That is Youngblood's May 13th. Jack Kirby Mr. Miracle Artist Edition has been moved from May to June. That's now June 24th. And then Kevin Eastman's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Layouts Artist Edition, has popped back up on Penguin Random House. So, interesting. We'll see what's going on there. And again, at the bottom of my thing, I say, only books with a published shipping date make this list. That's why you don't see crowdfunded books on my upcoming books list, because who can predict the future? All right, let's get into some out-of-print sales. So sales in November are kind of in the toilet. Let's talk record breakers, though, because record breakers are always exciting, right? Got two record breakers. Sergio Aragona's Gru the Wanderer Artist Edition blank cover. So he did some. I think there were 12 of them, and they were blank covers, and he had drawn individually on each cover. So he had provided an image, gorgeous images, unique to each book. This was one of the ones that were not sketched, so I assume it's from. It was, I don't know. It had to be from IDW Warehouse. Maybe that warehouse sale from a couple years ago. Anyway, it sold for $1,000. That just blew my mind. It's special, it's limited, but $1,000, yikes. The other big sale was Spawn Vault Edition 2 for $500. I haven't seen that price in a while. Those are the record breakers. Let's look at some highlights of what's sold. A lot of zeros again. Batman: The Dark Knight Returns is back in the sales number. Again, that was somebody with warehouse copies. 4 copies sold, average of $128.55. Bernie Wright's an Artifact Edition second print. 1 copy, $349.99. That's crazy. Best of EC Volume 1 Artist Edition. One copy sold for $329.99. That's coming back into its value. That's nice. I still have a copy available on the website for anybody who wants it. I think I lowered the price, actually, even. Let's have a look. I can't help it. I'm so excited. I lowered mine to $300 US. Like, come on, people. Sweet deals. Bill Sienkiewicz's Mutants and Moonites and Assassins Artifact Edition. One copy sold for $429. Wow. Let's see. First printing of Dave Stevens' Rocketeer sold for $149.99. 2 copies of David Mazzucchelli's. Is it Mazzucchelli? Yes. Mazzucchelli's Daredevil Born Again sold for $199.99 average. So there's a book that's being reprinted next year. Now the price is a bit lower than it has been. It doesn't go below $200 much, but it's still going above what I kind of thought it would be at this point because the reprint's been announced. 1 copy of Don Rose's The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck sold for $249.99. A lot of zeros following that. Gene Colan's Tomb of Dracula, 1 copy, $229.18. That's a bit lower than it's been for a while. Graham Ingles' EC Stories Artist Edition. 3 copies sold, averaging $184.50. It's not much above cover. It's nice to see those EC books staying in the spotlight, though. 2 copies of Jack Kirby, The Forever People Artist Edition sold. $89.25. That book's getting a reprint at $150, so that's, I think, I don't know. That was not ever a stellar seller. Joe Kubert's Tor Artist Edition. 3 copies sold, $124.99 average. That's pretty good. John Byrne's Fantastic Four Artist Edition. 1 copy sold, $289.95. That's a little bit higher than what I expect to see. Great book, though. That's another, that could really deserve a reprint. Mike Mignola's Hellboy and Hell and Other Stories Artist Edition. First print. 3 copies sold, averaging $288.91. That's up there. That's surprising. And good value there. Pete Craig Russell's Strange Dreams. 2 copies sold, $98.75. That one doesn't come up all the time. What else? Spawn Vault Edition, $337.99 for the first one. And we talked about the $500 for Volume 2. That's pretty great. $225 for Wally Wood's EC Stories Artist Edition. 1 copy. 2 copies of Will Eisner's The Spirit Artist Edition Volume 2, averaging $124.99. So below cover. And 1 copy of Will Eisner's A Contract with God Curators Collection sold for $345.99. I think I got to move Will Eisner's Contract with God into the record sales things too, because it's a tough book to get. Tough. All right, that's out of print sales. Let's talk supporting the site. I got to do it. I can't. It's part of the format of the podcast at this point. How can you support AE Index? 3 ways. 3 magical ways. You see a link on the site for a book you want. Boom. You click on that link. I get affiliate money. That's the best way. That's actually the absolute best way for me to earn from the site. That's where I earn income from the site. Second option. Go to the store, aindex.org/store. See the books available for sale. Wonder, marvel at the choices available to you. I still have a copy of Extremity Signature Edition, people. Amazing. Sealed. Ready to go. I've got a copy of Chris Somney's Black Widow. Sealed. Ready to go. Eric Powell's Lagoon. Cheap price. Buy from me. Oh my goodness. Get these books out of my house. I've got this stack of these books that I just think, I already don't have room for the rest of the artist edition. One's to sell. Just too much space. The third way to support me and the site, Patreon patron. Become a patron, $1 or more every month. That money just goes right to me buying books. This is I don't want to dissuade you or mislead you in any way. All the money I get from this stuff goes just to buying books. And you say, what? There's not, but it's slowing down. There's not that many books this year. Well, if you follow the site, you see there's a lot of foreign material. I'm still heavy on the French books. I just got Dupuis and via Champaka has these wonderful books, Une vie en dessin, which is a life in art. I just picked up a couple of those. I got the Waltree one, which I'm excited to get, and the Dodier one is coming next month. So these great books, wonderful original art in those books too. The Chaland's book is so awesome. I need to review that too. All right, that's it. Also, there is a PayPal button that says donate via PayPal. I've had 2 people donate via PayPal. That's awesome. You can do recurring or one time. Again, just money goes into the coffers, the war chest of AE format books. All right, thank you for listening to my sales pitch. 2 reviews this month. I really had to slow down. It was crazy. I could not keep that pace up. Even after doing these 2, I felt burned out. So both French language books. And again, if you follow the site, if you listen to the podcast and you think, foreign material, I'm not interested, don't do that to yourself. Read the review. Look at the pictures. Watch the flip through. These things are amazing. If you're a fan of original art, you've got to look at this stuff and be exposed to what these wonderful things. Just be thankful, I'm not exposing you to anything. All right. First book, Alex, L'Art de Jacques Martin. So here's the blurb. Born in the Tintin, I guess it is, newspaper in 1948. Alex is an emblematic figure of Franco-Belgian comics. Its creator, Jacques Martin, was one of the pillars of Studios Hergé, where he led his Alex and Lefranc series while collaborating on the Tintin albums. His classic aesthetic, first influenced by Hergé and E.P. Jacobs, I don't know, Jacobs has a French accent, I'm sorry, I'm not going to pronounce it with a French accent, is based on a vision of Roman antiquity that is both rigorous and fantasized. Alex remains a complex character who triumphs but must negotiate, understand, and put into perspective the unknown worlds he crosses, surrounded by avatars and strange and disturbing apparitions. That's great. The travels of this Franco-Belgian hero are at the heart of the art of Jacques Martin, some 150 originals of which have been brought together for this catalogue. This is from Neuvième Art Plus Editions. Would it be Edition Neuvième Art? Anyway, interesting. This was published in January 2018. It's been on my shelf for years. It's 10 inches by 13 3/4 inches, or 25 by 35 centimeters. It's 160 pages. It's a hardcover. It was €35. You can still order from BD Fugue. Again, an affiliate link for me. Order that up. Magical. This is an Angoulême catalog. Festival International de la Bande Dessinée d'Angoulême. And it covers Jacques Martin's art in just a wonderful way. Background, biography, just really great stuff. These Angoulême catalogs are always good. I reviewed several of them in the past. This is another great one. Really covers his career from the get-go. Tons of original art, really has a wonderful job of original art. And what I appreciated that there's colored pages, right? There's color. There's a lot of original art. That very little of his art did he include lettering. I guess they were just preparing for publication in multiple languages. I guess it's interesting because the rest of the other stuff I see from Tintin magazine or Spirou, I see lettering, and then there are a lot of pages in here with lettering, but it's a significant number with no lettering. And the reason I like I said, I'd owned this book for a while, but I had not reviewed it. And the reason I finally reviewed it is because I was waiting for a new Alex book coming from Edition Corrette, which I was very excited about. I love Edition Corrette and what they do. And I knew this book was coming, so that I got to get this reviewed. So the review is there. Great, just great. Another design by Philippe Gometti. I love Philippe Gometti, no question. Great stuff. Beautiful book. I was a bit disappointed though as I pulled it off my shelf. It's an uncoated hardcover, so it's just a uncoated paper, and I noticed the corners are getting soft, and some pieces are wearing off it. And I'm thinking, well, this book's been off my shelf about 4 times. Otherwise, it's just sat in the same place. What is wearing the paper off? So they're not. Maybe that's a problem with the design. That maybe if they coated the paper, we wouldn't have that issue. And that leads me into my biggest disappointment, honestly, of 2024, and that is Alex Le Dernier Spartiate, Edition Corrette. Le Dernier Spartiate was the name of the book, and I added Edition Corrette to the title so that you could differentiate. It's not the book that was originally published, in 67. It's this book. So let me give you the blurb to this. Okay, Le Dernier Spartiate, the 7th album in the Alex series, published in 1967. I need a comma there because it's the 7th album in the Alex series, comma, published in 1967. The entire series was not published in 67. Is one of Jacques Martin's most emblematic albums. It reveals the artist's love for this world. During a voyage off the coast of Greece, Alex and Enak are shipwrecked. The latter is captured, and when he tries to free him, Alex discovers an ancient Greece that dreams of its former glory. This deluxe print, offered by Edition Corrette in 42 by 30 centimeter format, is limited to $499. You will find an unpublished cover by Marc Gelu based on research by Jacques Martin, an introduction by Patrick Gaumet, a a specialist in Martin's work, and afterward by Roger Sater, and a 20-page graphic notebook which will also complement your experience. And good news never comes alone. In addition to this album, you will benefit from an A4 portfolio of 10 drawings, including several unpublished ones, a reproduction of the first plate, a large format color off-print, and finally, an envelope containing 2 A4 sheets of the first version of the scenario proposed to Casterman by Jacques Martin. I should change that to script. All right, I need to edit this page. I need to edit those things. I'll edit them for posterity, right? People have probably already read this review. Okay, this was released. Interesting. Why does that say Edition Correct released it June 28th, 2024? Did I sit on it that long? Probably. Okay, that was 30 centimeters by 42 centimeters or 12 by 16.5 inches. It's 96 pages. The hardcover was 195 euros. You can order it from the Nufiem store. I'm clicking on the link now because I'm like, I can't believe I had this book that long. Really? Does it say when it was released? It does. Wow. Apparently I sat on this book that long too. I flipped through it and I was immediately disappointed. That's really the story. Okay. Let me just get right into it. What was disappointing to me? Let me give you the blurb on what appears at the front of the book. So they have a beautiful blurb about the book on their website, which I didn't read. So this is a shame on me. Let's say it right away. Being able to work on the originals of this album is both the realization of a publisher's dream and an immense pleasure. The 43 plates found were all rescanned by Casterman in 4-color process to stay as close as possible with the originals of the time. So again, did you see that? To stay as close as possible to the originals of the time. These new HD scans allow us to appreciate for the first time all the finesse of the artist's inking, but also his second thoughts, his hesitations, his working method. Let us add that we have chosen a graphic treatment for the original plates to return as closely as possible to the plates as they appeared at the time when the author drew them, namely that we have reduced the yellowing of the Scholler parole paper used to offer the reader plates that are as close as possible to their state in 1967. Let me put that into layman's terms. They took the original art that we're used to seeing yellowed, right? And they whitened it. So white as can be. So now it's no longer a historical document. I don't understand the point of it. I can't overstate this. Why would you scan original art and then whiten it so it just looks like black and white line art and then print it? So if you squint really hard at these pages, you may be able to find some whiteout, but because they've whitened the whole thing, it does not look like original art anymore. Why? So then in the review, I'm able to find, because in that previous Alex, the book I mentioned just a minute ago from the Angoulême catalog, there are some Alex pages. The Dernier Spartiate pages. There's a lot of Alex pages. So I'm able to directly compare you. You look at the photos, you see this beautiful historical piece of art, right? And it's yellowed, and it's, and then I show you the whitened version, and you think, ugh, what is the point of this? Let me give you the rest of now this blurb, this is in the book. This was not on the website. You had to buy the book to get this information. The restoration of a masterpiece. Jacques Martin drew the plates of Le Dernier Spartiate, 1967. Publishing the album in black and white 56 years later, starting from the original plates, was therefore a real challenge. Since the album was released, some plates have been sold or given away, but thanks to the generosity of Frédéric and Bruno Martin and the invaluable help of Casterman Editions, particularly Jimmy Van den Hout, we were able to provide scans of their scanners of 44 of the original plates, so 44 of the 56. Right? Is that what it said? Private collectors have also provided us with archives. Thank you to them, in particular Daniel Guérin. The storage and exhibition conditions of these original plates have been very viable and have led to disparities in the shades of the paper that we have harmonized to revive as close as possible the original plates of the time. For the missing pages, Fabrice Link has done a great job of restoration from the black and white film and period photos in order to give coherence to the whole album. These missing pages are 8, 10, 14, 15, 18, 21, 25, 29, 31, 37, 39, 41, 49, 55, 57, 58, 61, 62. It's a lot of pages missing. But again, because you whiten things and you just make them look like black and white line art, what does it matter? Ugh, I love Edition Koret. Oh my goodness, the previous stuff I have from them, the Valerian books are amazing. Why they chose to whiten this book out, I don't understand. The extras are great. They really go into some stuff. Got a historical context, art, and then again the extras. Like there's 2 script pages in an envelope. It's so cool. There's a small portfolio. I didn't bother with the portfolio plates in the review. They're in the flip through though with the video. I can't believe how disappointed I was with this book. And then actually I have another book another French book. They redid the Asterix the Gaul in French, obviously, and they redid the album. So you've got the album recolored, and then the back half of that is the original art pages, and they've done the same thing. They've whitened them to death, so they don't look like original art anymore. They just look like black and white line art, and I don't understand this approach. Maybe it's just that my thinking, right? I look at these not only as like you want these books to be the original art. It's like you holding the original art in your hand. This is the beauty of AE format books. It's an historical document. You're right, and if you just whiten pages to make it look like they looked when the artist drew them, why would you want that? I don't get it. Anyway, as I say, disappointment of the year, 2024. Sad. All right, that's it for me for this month. Thank you for listening. Please go to the site, hit up the Dunbier Awards, and please vote. Oh, I also got a chance I talked to Scott Dunbier today, which was nice. Wish him a happy new year. And we talked about stuff he's got coming up. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything. And but you know what? 2025 looks very exciting. I think Act 4 is right. It's going to launch. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be tons of great stuff for the next several years. And then the new year has just started. We've got very few solicitations coming up, but what we've got coming already sounds great. So let's stick to it. And thank you for listening, and we'll talk again next month.
Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can search this wide world over. She'll never find a sweet man like me.